The limited info on Mass Effect 4 does not bode well. It seems that so far the game is failing at the premise. Question 1. Did the Council secretly build Arks with the Council races? In ME4, they didn't seem to care, let alone believe in the Reapers until they arrived on their doorstep. So in order for this to be real, they'd have to strongly believe in the Reaper threat and keep it secret all this time. But that's all contradicted at the start of Mass Effect 3. This can't be just, hey, let's build all these massive ships and send the best of us to another galaxy. We're explorers and love Star Trek. This Andromeda initiative has to be a lot more involved than simple exploration. What's the point of it? There'd be no trade-off or a return on investment. It's just exploration, and that's just a big goodbye. Now, if the Council did not do this, it implies a third party. This third party, a galactic Elon Musk fellow, would have had to have enough resources to build 5 gigantic traveling ships and encourage 3 other Council races to join up on this massive project. It could be one big cover-up, sign up to go to this new galaxy for a one-way trip, but in secret it's to preserve the existing Council races. The only 4 groups we can think of that would fit the bill, at least in my mind, are Cerberus, the Shadow Broker, Solarians, or the Asari. It wouldn't be Cerberus or the humans because they're a power-hungry, humanity-only type of group, and the Shadow Broker already had some sort of plans to hide from the Reapers and really didn't care about anyone else, even pre-Mass Effect 3. Although I'm kind of curious why everything happened on the moon, or the moon deck. The Solarians, on the other hand, are used to conducting all sorts of technological-based intelligence gathering through STG, and they have this ingenuity to conduct a variety of genetic experiments. Their quick thinking and short lifespan could possibly motivate them to think along these lines. The other possibility is some rich, proud matriarch from the Asari, or all the matriarchs really, who have superior tech and resources to get people motivated and build some sort of super FTL that allows them to traverse dark space in some reasonable amount of time, or maybe only reasonable to their thinking, considering they live so long. Which brings us to question 2. Why go to another galaxy at all? If this really is a secret to escape the Reapers, sure, it would make sense to go as far away as possible from them, and the next closest galaxy would be a logical choice. But this also implies that they either A, didn't know about Ilos, or B, knew about Ilos, but thought doing another Ilos world would be too risky, and another galaxy would simply be the only solution, as the Reapers couldn't possibly be over there. Well, that would be terribly ironic if they were. So, instead of digging really deep into some unattractive Reaper boring planet and its crust, and building a cryogenic sleep facility or just a plain habitat dome that can't be detected, they're going to travel as far away as possible. The problem with this line of thinking is there are potentially tens of billions of solar systems in our galaxy, with an even greater number of possible planets, moons, or anything you could hide in. These are actual potential places to live. Considering you can't conduct long-range scans on a galaxy for potential planets, it would be faster, cheaper, and less dangerous to spend the time and money just exploring those worlds in our galaxy and setting up hidden sleep centers or cities underneath those places. Think of the Fallout series vaults, only less crazy and more galactic. The people living in these underground cities would wake up from their sleep and start advancing their civilization to fight an eventual galactic threat. It would be something of a religion to them. They'd be all geared up with deadly weapons and ships, basically just fleets of ships with canes duct taped onto them, or their versions thereof, united under the banner of striving for a single goal. But we're going to Andromeda to explore. Because, question 3, what is up with these ships? Why are there 4 seed ships with 4 different species? I can kind of understand if it's a genetics thing and you need a particular habitat to sustain life for certain types of food and climate. I can get that, but all 4 council races seem to live together just fine, and I'm sure you can grow their food together as they increase their numbers when out of these sleeping seed ships. But if the goal is survival, wouldn't you want some redundancy? Like, how about 4 seed ships with every species in them? In case one of them gets lost or destroyed, it's like, oops, we just lost the humans. Oh, where's the Asari ship? I seem to have lost them too. You know, are 4 independent ships really the best idea a civil engineer from the galaxies can come up with? And then what's the point of this gigantic ship, the Nexus? At first I thought it would be a gigantic mass relay so that you could just travel back to the Milky Way, but that wouldn't make any sense because it would contradict the point of escaping the Reapers, so Maybe it's a mass relay construction facility, so you can create mass relays when you get there, and you can have interstellar travel and make all kinds of sense. I mean, if you're able to build these 4 seed ships, that they could have their own independent resources to travel that far, that long, that fast. But again, they obviously go faster than building normal mass relays, so what is this ship and what does it do? But let's assume EZO is actually relevant still. You'd have to ask, where are you going to get element 0? Never mind the large amount of EZO you'll need to even get to Andromeda, however that new technology works. How do you know there's going to be element 0 over there to mine? How about the possibility that the atoms of that galaxy aren't bound by electrons, but instead positrons? Well, EZO wouldn't exist because it's based around dark energy, and how would dark energy impact this kind of mass in this galaxy? Would it be affected by a positive charge from positrons? What if the laws of physics are almost totally different? What if the periodic table is entirely foreign? Why are we taking this gigantic risk in building all these weird ships? Question 4. How about the static electric discharge from using mass effect fields? So in order to fly safely past FTL speed, Starship drive cores eventually need to dump their excess static electrical charge, or they go boom. How are they going to do that if they are traveling in FTL for 600 years in sleep mode? So we have to imagine even more super technological advances that constitute our ability to fly to Andromeda at amazing speed. Question 5. What is up with the jump in FTL tech? Just how are we going to get there so fast? Andromeda is 2.5 million light years away, and they can apparently do it in 600 years. So that's 2.5 million light years, which is 9.46 trillion kilometers. So you divide that by 600, and you get 39.4 quadrillion kilometers a year. That would be closer to 4.5 trillion kilometers per hour, to put it more understandably. That's 1.25 billion kilometers a second these ships are traveling. Okay. Now, the Reaper's thrusters and FTL drives appear to propel them at more than twice the speed of Citadel ships. The estimates of their location in dark space suggest they can travel nearly 30 light years in a 24-hour period. This is all an estimate from the Codex. So they can do 30 light years in 24 hours. That's 284 trillion kilometers divided by 24. So that's 11.8 trillion kilometers per hour, or 3.28 billion kilometers per second. So our new FTL engines can output about 40% of the speeds of a Reaper capital ship. I don't know how that translates to the Codex's version of us only doing half. I don't know. So the projectiles from Canes, which can kill Reapers, travel at 5 kilometers a second. Even though in Mass Effect 3 you can see the stupid projectile go really slow. The Dreadnought of a main gun, their projectiles travel at 4,025 kilometers a second. We have no idea how fast a Thanix cannon is, but it's a watered-down version of Sovereign's main gun. It has no problem tearing through a Reaper's shields. Now, if we have figured out how to accelerate a spaceship, and 5 of them, to 1.25 billion with a B kilometers a second, and our old Canes and fleets already do the job, why are we going anywhere? Why not share this technology, pre-Mass Effect 3, drop it on all our ships in the fleet, and blow the living crap out of the Reapers when they come? Why didn't we have this tech back in Mass Effect 3? Question 6, vaults? So we're trying to save our species and 3 others in a brand new galaxy, which seems kind of complicated. You don't need aliens with hidden tech, vault things to fight and explore, and other species to deal with. There's plenty of conflict. There's plenty of challenge, and loads of gameplay to be had, I'm sure. But you gotta have a bad guy who wants to challenge you. They could have easily taken the premise of Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri, threw it into the Mass Effect universe, and absolutely, you'd have been totally fine. It probably would have been a brilliant idea. In fact, I'm actually hoping they make their own 4X game. That would be kind of cool. Now, everyone who subscribed to me, my amazing subscribers, they all know we have these problems. A writer did it, and a producer okayed it. They had to reset the series because they gotta make money. This is their soft reboot. It's coming with a lot of baggage, and they had to get out of the literal galactic mess they made. So how do they do that? Giant time skip and going to a whole other location. In this case, a galaxy. Mass Effect 4, Thy Name is Dragon Age 2. Only worse. They could have just done a hard reset, a whole new universe, do their own thing, same species, whatever. It would have been much better, no baggage, no ridiculous intro requiring all this exposition they'll need to fill in the blanks. Or hey, maybe they just skip the exposition and have a crappy setting. Instead, we have many questions that need to be answered. And I hope they know how to answer all these questions, or this story will fail before it gets off the ground. So, bravo BioWare, you're still running from the galactic storytelling mess that was Mass Effect 3's ending. Here's hoping the next few bits of info you're sharing with us will fill in some of these blanks.